Hello, I hope you're having a wonderful Friday. Welcome to my Happy Friday series. Today, I decided that we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be making 5 cards, and basically they're all the same cards. They're thank you cards. And then we're going to wrap them up in a homemade little box and give them out as a gift. And I thought it would be fun to share this process with you. It's fairly simple. First, we take a standard piece of paper, it's cardstock actually, and I cut it in half and then made a standard A2 size card out of 1/2 of it. And then I'm taking a rectangle die. It's just slightly smaller than the standard A2 size card, and I cut out a piece of cardstock with the same exact color. And then I went through my embossing folders and I grabbed, this one is little circles on it, and then I went through my stash and I found some coordinating baker's twine that matches the color pretty well, and I'm just wrapping it around 3 times, and then I'm tying a little bit of a bow all the way on the end. So everything basically so far is coordinating, so you can use any colors that you have in your stash. And then I have fun foam, and I have a lot of different colors, and I just adhered one side of it with double-sided tape, and then the other side is already adhesive backed, and I just placed that panel directly on my card. And since we are making a little gift box, I made 5 total different colors, and I used different embossing folders for each one of them. I thought it'd be really neat to have the same card but with different kind of textures. So I had a darker blue, and then now I have a green, and I already went ahead and attached the baker's twine to all of those, and then the fun foam also, and I'm just sticking all of them down directly on my card bases. So we have five basically card panels ready to go. And now we're going to work on our sentiment. And for our sentiment, we're using the Strathmore Bristol Smooth cardstock. I find that this cardstock is very versatile, and for using Copics, for using alcohol markers, for using watercolor. So I just cut out 5 pieces of cardstock with that. And then I'm using a stamp set from Lawn Fawn. And this is a Our Friendship Grows stamp set. It's adorable. It has a little flower scene that you can build. And I'm going to jump in and stamp our little scene here. I'm taking the smaller, I think it's like a sunflower, and then the little flower pot that comes in the stamp set. And I will link the products that I used below in the description area for you guys in case you want to purchase the stamp set or the products that I use. I'm using my Mini Misty to stamp our little scene, and then for the stem I grab my little clear block. I'm using some VersaFine ink, and I'm going to use that same ink to stamp the stem, and I'm going to mask off the bottom part of the flower pot because the stem is a little bit longer, and I think it turned out lovely. Since we did use a VersaFine, I'm going over it with some clear embossing powder by Nuvo. And then I have cut out 3/4 inch strips of vellum, and I'm going to stamp our sentiment on that vellum. And this sentiment says thank you, so we're going to make a little thank you gift box. And I added some clear embossing powder to the sentiments as well, and just for time purposes I had already heat set those, and they're all ready to go. So we're going to jump in and get started with the coloring. For the coloring, I'm going to be using my Zig markers, the Clean Color Real Brush. These are so easy to color in, and they're really pretty with the shading that it gives. And up in the corner I had wrote down the colors that I was using. That way if you guys want to use the same colors, the colors are there. And basically I'm using my water brush, and I'm just spreading out the colors. The first 2 I did a little bit different, but the last 3 they're all the same colors. And I'm going to play some music while I finish up coloring these. Okay, well, I'm just about finished, and now I'm adding a little bit of shading to the bottom of each of those pots. And then I grabbed one of the markers that matched my background cardstock as close to it as I could. And so each of these flowers will have a coordinating background, and I thought that little accent kind of just made it extra special. And then the little shading on the bottom, I think the pot needed kind of like a place to sit, so that helped with that. I think this is a perfect teacher gift. I think it's just nice, fast, and easy, but personal gift to give if you'd like to try doing this. And it's fairly simple. And again, if you don't want to use your Zig watercolor markers, you could use your Copics. You could use your alcohol markers. You could use even colored pencils. Would be really pretty with this outcome. I'm just finishing up. Excuse me. Okay, now I have all 5 of my little flower pots, my little centerpieces done. So next I'm taking our sentiment from the vellum, and I'm adhering it directly to our panel here. And I'm just using my tape runner to adhere it. And then I am grabbing some more of that fun foam, and we're going to pop it up on the back with the fun foam. And I prefer to use the coordinating colors of the fun foam only because it gives a nice, from the side view, it just gives a more clean look. So, and if you're giving it as a gift, I think it's just extra special touch. But like I said, if you have a foam tape, foam dot adhesives, it would all work the same. These cards were so easy to make. It was just like an assembly line, and I had fun making them. And what I actually did first was went through my baker's twine and matched it up with my cardstock. And then that way I had a good card base that coordinated pretty good. And I was happy to use my embossing folders too, because sometimes they get a little bit neglected. So this was a good way to use up the things that we have in our stash that we still love, but just kind of forget about. So now we have all of our cards done. And I think they turned out so adorable. But of course we need some bling. So I had these little itty bitty sequins on my desk, and I'm just going to add a few to each one of the cards. And I was going to use the Tombow glue, but then I thought, you know, I'm going to use my glossy accents to secure them down. And my little spout got clogged, so that's why it took a little bit longer. Sorry about that. And these little itty bitty sequins are from Pretty Pink Posh, and I'll give you the link where you can get them below. But they're beautiful. They're like little diamonds. I just love them. I think they add so much just to any card. And this little gift set, you could use any stamp set really to do this for the same effect. And now, since I got them all done, I'm stacking them. And when I stack them with every other one, flip-flopping them. And now we're going to work on our little box. We're going to cut a piece of paper at 6.5 and 7 3/4. And this is a 110-pound heavy-duty cardstock. And then I'm taking my Martha Stewart scoring board, and at every edge, I'm scoring it 1 inch. And then I'm taking my bone folder and I'm just creasing the edges, getting a nice sharp edge. And then on the smaller part of this cardstock, I just cut slits out. And then I'm using my tape runner to secure the sides together. Now I would recommend using some strong glue or some double-sided tape, just because it'll be a little bit stronger. So now we have our little card for our pocket. We're going to do the exact same thing with a piece of acetate. And the size of the acetate is the same size at 6.5 by 7 3/4. And we're scoring it 1 inch all around. And then on the little corners, we're just going to trim them off, because we won't need those. You're going to find with the acetate, after you use your bone folder and you crease it, it'll pop up on its own, and it kind of makes its own little box, which turns out really nice. And again, I'll link below what acetate sheets that I use, and this is a really pretty thick one, but I think it works perfectly for our little card box. Now we're going to take our envelopes and we're going to flip-flop those two just so they lay flatter. And here I have 5 white envelopes, and I'm just putting them in the bottom. And then we're going to add our beautiful little cards to our homemade box and add our little clear top. And then I grabbed a piece of ribbon from my stash, and you can use any ribbon you would like. I think a sheer ribbon would be really pretty with this box, because you could actually see through it. You just tie a pretty little bow. I just did it down the center. And then I'm going to trim off that bow. And that's it. You can shift the bow to the left, to the right, however you'd like. And it's a perfect little gift to give. So I thought I'd share my little card gift with you. I hope this inspires you, and I just thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a wonderful Easter, blessed Easter, and we'll see you next time.